Ahoy, this is Zdenka. I'm filming a commercial today in a studio on a black background, setting up, and I'm gonna take you with me on a journey. I'm gonna show you how I am doing it behind the scenes, how to set it up, how to edit it, how to create this wonderful little commercial. And for the new faces, welcome. My name is Zdenka. Darula. If you want to learn how to take better photos and videos with the latest gear and possibly participate in creative camera challenges, consider subscribing. A lot of you were asking how I have my black background attached to the wall, so let me take you up. When you look at it, it's pretty much a simple hook which is attached to the wall, directly mounted, so I can just take it off and put it back on. I bought it somewhere online. I'm gonna try to find it and link it below. It's just hook, mounted to the wall, that's it. New shiny plexiglass. Well, this is gonna be a real challenge because it's very tiny. I wish I had double the size. And I would use my old one, which is this one, but it's scratched, it's done. Well, I'm almost set up there, but the product is missing. Let's go get it. Yeah, I know it's empty. Okay, we were celebrating this past weekend 50th birthday. Not mine, somebody else in our house. My husband was 50 and I helped them to celebrate. Actually, they helped me to celebrate. I'm gonna fill it up with something to make it look full. I guess you're wondering what it is. Well, it's a gift box and inside is this fairly strong drink from Slovakia. It's from plums and yeah, it came with 2 little glasses, so I'm gonna put it all back in. I'm ready to shoot. Let's quickly review the setup. So I'm just using a regular table. On the table I have a black paper background. If you want your background to be really black, you need to make sure the background goes far enough in the back. It doesn't go up like here at the end of the table, because then the light would be catching up. The wall would be lighter here. The black background would be lighter. On the table I also have plexiglass. Product is sitting on it. My headlight is the Aperture 120D2, and I also have a Light Dome 2 on it, softbox with the grid to make sure that the light is very directional and very soft. So for the first shot, which will be the establishing shot, I have the gift sitting on a table. I had to add another light, which is the Falcon F7 light. There's a LED light which is shining on this part. This was too dark. The headlight was only covering the one half and I need extra light here, so that's why I decided to put it overhead. Then camera I'm using is Sony A7SIII and the lens is 28 to 75 millimeters f2.8. I have it set up on a slider, which is Moza Slipod E, and I'm gonna be slowly coming towards the object. So now I'm filming at 60 frames per second, and the next shot is just gonna be following the line here on the side of the box. I might be doing the whole thing. I'm gonna stop in the middle. That's when the next shot will be opening the gift box. What I forgot to mention is for the side shot, I already changed the lens to 17 to 28 millimeters, and I was using it quite wide, I believe on 24 millimeters. Right now, I'm still shooting at the 17 to 28 millimeters because I want to get a close-up shot of the buckle. I just need a hand to open the gift box, and as I'm filming by myself, I don't have a model, I need to kind of do that on my own. Well, I'm finished with the first part of the commercial, and now it's the time when I need to bring in all the details. So I need to do shots of the bottle, I need to do shots of the glasses, some water, plums. Well, I ran into problems with plums. Here in Canada, you can buy any fruit you want, usually throughout the year. It's not a problem. I ran through 5 stores yesterday and I couldn't find the real beautiful plums. So luckily, this morning I realized that I have some shots from my dad's backyard, the plums on a tree. I took it just with my Android a few years ago. The video is quite decent, so I can use it in the commercial. So I digged it out. I have it actually. I have a few clips, so I'm gonna definitely use it. This year is all about being very bold and colorful. So since I'm shooting these items on a black background, it's not very colorful. So my plan is to bring in, like I said, the plums into the shots. I want to bring in some color on the bottle, so I'm gonna light it differently. And also the splashes and some bold writing. It's gonna be a short commercial, but it should be bold. So let's move on to the other shots. But first I need to grab something which arrived yesterday. This item, fully charged, ready to go. I needed this for so long. It's a spinner. It basically will spin in the same speed. You can adjust different speeds. You can adjust the direction, and it also can handle a lot of weight. I purchased it 2 days ago on the Amazon. Yesterday it came. I needed this for so long. I'm finally happy I have it. By the way, everything I'm gonna be using today is listed below the video, so you don't need to ask me in the comment section what it is, where I bought it. It's all listed there. So right now I switched to the different lens again. So it's 28 to 75 millimeters, and I have it all the way on 75 to get as close as possible, also because I don't want to see the spinner underneath the glass. Because we are in lockdown, I don't really have a chance to go buy blackboard. Normally I would put a blackboard under the glass so the whole thing is spinning. But because I don't even have a black paper, nothing available right now, that's what I gotta do. So I'm gonna work around it. I'm gonna be using also this little light to create some light streaks there. What I did at this point, I turned off the headlight because I really didn't like the reflection in the glass of the grid. So I'm just using the RGB lights. One is here from the back, the other one is on the other side, also from the back, which will eliminate the glass, make it very sharp looking. Everything will be black, and I'm not getting any reflections in a glass. I'm gonna be using third light, most likely from the top, to make sure that the front of the glass is lit up properly. I want to see the light on the graphics there, so that should be working. Let's try. Few things could give away that there's actually water inside. One of them is the actual plum, because when you get that drink, the plum is at the bottom. It's not floating on the top like that. So what I'm going to do to create even movement inside of the bottle to make it more interesting, I will simply let the plum come to the top, get it ready, go to the top, and then once I am ready to shoot, I'm gonna sit it this way, and that way there will be a movement inside of the bottle with the whole bottle spinning. The plum will be flying up and down, so it's gonna look like actual motion, and that should camouflage that there's actually a water inside. Next thing I'm gonna do, well, obviously, when you drink slivovica, you don't have it chilled. You can have it in a room temperature, but again, for commercials, it is quite common that you spray the bottles with the water, so it looks more nice, and there's water drops and all that. So that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. I just brought a spray bottle. I'm gonna spray it, shake it, put it down, and let that spin. That should create a lot of motion, hopefully. Well, the scene has changed one more time again, because like I said, I want it bold and colorful. Place the bottle in the middle there. I put 2 lights here, colorful lights on the sides. One is kind of like a purplish blue, and the other one is more pinkish purple, because those are the colors from the case, and those are the colors from the plum. Like I said, I'm gonna spray the bottle, I'm gonna shake it a bit, and with my camera, I'm gonna be going up and down. First, I'm gonna be zooming in on the details, then I'm gonna make the whole shot of the whole bottle Hopefully the plum will go up and down in the bottle, we'll see. Let's get some movement going on here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the bottles in my hands and actually shake it in all kinds of directions so my hands are not in a shot. Moving on to another shot, I'm going to be pouring the water into the glasses. Again, I had to shut off the main stove box because I didn't like the reflection, so I'm back to just two lights, one from that side and the other one from this side. Very simple shot, just pouring the water through the glasses. And as you just saw, that was the whole product, the whole shot arrangement. I did it once just with the regular lights because I wasn't sure if I just want the regular lights or if I want the colors. So I did one with the regular lights and one with the colors. Now I'm gonna move on to playing a little bit with water and splashes. Okay, last set for today, changing everything again. I found paper in the house, which we have actually, complementary to the colors right here. I'm gonna place it on a table. On top, I'm gonna put this container, clear container filled up with the water. I'm gonna be throwing some ice in it and maybe dip the bottle in it. I'll play a little bit just to get some motion of the water. Yeah, and that will be all. And then we'll start editing the whole thing. Okay, so here I just need some shots of the water movement. So actually I'm gonna do it with my hand to get the water moving around. I added a blue light to get the effect, so I'm just gonna go for it. The only thing I'm finding on the Sony A7S III is that when I do the manual focus, sometimes it doesn't stay. I have to readjust quite often, so interesting finding. All right, all finished here in the studio. I have all the assets. It's time to move to the computer and edit the commercial. I'll see you there. I'll show you how it was done. As you just saw, it was a very easy, very simple commercial. There were no transitions, very straightforward. Majority of the clips I filmed in 60 frames per second. I think about 2 clips were done at 24 frames per second, but everything else was at 60 frames per second because I have the flexibility to slow it down in the post if I want to. What made the whole thing was the way the clips were cut together, the selection of the clips, and obviously also sound effects and music. Music and sound effects I use from Epidemic Sound. By the way, if you are still looking for music for your videos and sound effects, the link can be found below the video. The first month is free. So let's go on a timeline and see how it was done. As you can see, the timeline is very simple. It's just a whole bunch of clips cut together, very short cuts. Now, whenever I had a static shot, like this one, for example, I made sure I am zooming in on the clip, so it's not just a static shot, it's something is happening. So I just zoomed in a bit. So let me see that here. One little thing I had to camouflage in this shot was actually the shot of this shot glass. The reason so, I'm gonna show you in a second, because in this clip you can see the little reflection from the spinner, and that's what I didn't want because I didn't have that black board under the glass. So what I did, I took a frame, I took a photo from this clip, imported it to Photoshop, and I flipped it horizontally because I wanted to use that left side on the right side where it's perfectly dark. And what I just simply did, I used a mask. So here is before and here is after. I'm gonna show you the mask, which is right here. So what I did, I just selected that little area, covered it up, and I obviously used mask feather to feather the edges out a little bit, so that way you don't see the spinner underneath. If I'm gonna move on, then there's just, again, repeated shots, very simple timeline. I added some sound effects of the water when we are cheering with the glasses. I did that actually in a closet. I just grabbed those little glasses and I clicked a few times, and that was the sound I was using. And then obviously each clip was color graded. I didn't do many changes there. I really just added a lot more saturation. I increased the contrast. I added more shadows to make it very punchy and very colorful. Added a tiny bit more magenta, went a little bit to the blue, just to make it very, very colorful and very bold. Well, I hope you found this video informative. Maybe you learned something new, who knows? If you did, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to all future videos. More filming videos are coming up, also with a smartphone pretty soon. And if you have any questions, comments, or simply want to say hi or ahoy, which is hi and bye in Czech language, you can leave it below in a comment section. And again, all the tools I was using, all the information is listed below the video in the video description for those interested. And I'll see you, my friends, in the next video. Ciao. Ahoy.